Well, we're back on the road heading down to Texas to JDI Sand Imports to pick up another batch of guns. This is famously known a batch of SG551s, both standard, handful of NATO, and some of the anniversary editions came in, plus a few other odds and ends, plus parts. So we're on the road to pick that up. No breakfast stop this morning, except at a fast food restaurant that apparently didn't taste so well. Luckily, I ate before leaving the house, so I didn't have to endure that. But yeah, we'll get down and see what Dave has this time and talk about it. Get some kind of first impressions for you all. But figured might as well do another road trip video. People seem to like them. So far, it's been pleasantly uneventful, and the roads are moderately better than last time. Good weather, sunny, supposed to be a high around 70 down here in Texas. So, see how it goes. First day back to work after Thanksgiving weekend. Seems like it never ends. So we'll check back in a bit, get you there. Hi, Misha here, and we're finally back home, back to the shop. It was a nice, a bit long trip down there, and for once, Sig Sauer AG in Switzerland really delivered. Almost everything promised came in on this order, and a few accessories we weren't even expecting made it. I'm not going to hit everything in this video, mostly because I have not slept in a day. Never let it be said that I don't suffer from my art or business, because I'm exhausted. But I wanted to do something quick for you guys, and we can revisit what I missed in this video and expand upon it later. Of course, the biggest news are the Swiss manufactured SG551s. As far as I know, these are all 551-2s, meaning they have the 1 in 7 twist. They come in as pistols, of course, with 16.1 inch barrels. That does include the flash hider, which is not just fixed to the barrel, but fully machined as part of it. And I have two versions here. Here is the standard Swiss version, and here we have the NATO version. Both do come with diopter sights, including the flip-up front night sight. They have the scope rail mount on top, where you can put the QD mount. The Swiss mag version has a gray steel upper and lower, black handguard and pistol grip. It does have the loop under the gas block and a two-way gas regulator. However, this cannot be used for a bayonet. The barrel does not stick out far enough. The NATO version here is a little different. It has black steel upper and black alloy lower. There's also a black alloy lower version that takes Swiss mags, and then we have standard handguards here and much the same barrel, but we're doing the gas block in black instead of gray. Pretty familiar controls. Of course, both are chambered for 5.56 by 45, 5.56 NATO, 223, and they all have standard Swiss features. AMB safety. This has the AR drop down trigger guard. This has the standard Swiss trigger guard. It folds. The triggers are adjustable. There is a storage compartment in the pistol grip. The NATO version comes with one mag pull, 30 round mag. The Swiss version comes with one 30 round Swiss mag. It could be the smooth side or the version with tabs. Just kind of depends what they threw in the box at that time. Flipping these over, these are not 551 SB or 551 LB. The 551 SB has a 14.3 inch barrel. It has a flash hider very similar to this styling, smooth, but it starts right after the gas block. The 551 LB has a longer 17.8 inch barrel. It has a grenade hump in the middle, and of course the flash hider is longer. It's also a little different. It has ribbing back here, and typically both 551 SB and 551 LB have threading inside. Now, I've already commented this year what I think these barrels are. What we know for a fact is that they were in the basement of Sig Sauer AG in Neuhausen, Switzerland, formerly SAN, formerly Sig. My theory is that these were produced either for the U.S. market right before the '89 ban or right after for some unknown reason, because they sure seem to be U.S. SG551 SP spec barrel. For one, they have a 1 in 7 twist rate. For another, like the handful of Preban guns we have here, they're not threaded internally. They also don't have the raised area on the end here or here, potentially for a grenade launcher, which they wouldn't have had anyway. They seem slightly slimmer diameter. Everything on these barrels seems to be like the 80s. Now, if you take the handguards off, you will see the modern serial number on the barrel, as well as 21 for the year 2021. This is actually something new, according to Dave, that Switzerland is requiring the serial and the date on the barrel. So these are modern stampings. But on the reverse side, you can find the Swiss cross and a couple of obscure markings. It does not say SAN, meaning it was not produced in the 21st century. And since these were in the basement, they're not recent Sig Sauer AG production. So the markings, although not 100% conclusive, do seem to indicate that they're older SIG production back before the change to SAN. In the end, it really doesn't matter. They're authentic Swiss cold hammer forged barrels, very high quality with the integral flash hider, and they're the minimal length. Essentially, this was based on the SG551 SB. They just extended the barrel out about 1.6, 1.7 inches to make it legal. So it's not so much an LB as an extended SB. And it really handles quite well. The barrel is lighter, and especially with the alloy versions, yeah, they feel really good. They're not that heavy for a gas piston long stroke type gun. This one has a very police carbine look. It actually reminds me a lot of those Louisiana wildlife fish and game guns. And ironically, this one is very similar to how I configured my own 551LB with the NATO lower. And we have several other accessories that came in, so let's briefly just talk about a couple. Here we have something that folks have been asking for. The Swiss manufactured clamp-on diopter sights. So this is the rear sight, pretty standard. Now with my clamp-ons that I've had a few years, the front sight was actually a new post. Now though, what they're doing, because you know them, they don't get enough money, is they're actually shipping a replacement front blade for your existing front sight, which is taller to work with the diopter. There's also a wrench in here. So you get those couple of things, a small manual, and the clamp-on diopter. It even has the removable iris you can screw in. And it comes in this pretty neat little case. That's the good news. The bad news, the cost is about $560, which is not cheap, but they're in stock for those who want them. Also, just in stock is the current generation of bayonet, at least one of them. These are manufactured in Italy under contract. Comes with scabbard with thigh strap and bayonet. Note the edge is on the top, bottom is smooth. This does not have the wire cutter, and this is actually for the NATO style bayonet lug. It's also adjustable. There's a screw in the back, so it can fit a somewhat wider range of guns. JDI also has a small number of both Swiss spec and NATO spec bayonet lugs, and would you believe it, they actually remembered to include the roll pin this time. Something that, believe it or not, they forgot a few years ago, and it was a very annoying and rather major headache. And this does come in this case for what it's worth. Yeah, I could put it in there better later, but again, tired. There we go. So, some bayonets, bayonet lugs, and some neat, but let's be honest, pretty overpriced diopter sights. But hey, if you want them, you want them. And finally, furniture, mostly stocks. The Alpines are now here, as well as the pink stocks. Now, only enough came in of each to fill the back orders for those who bought Alpines or the handful of pink guns, but as promised, they are finally here. So, if not good things come to those who wait, certainly interesting things. Yeah, not your everyday buttstock, that's for sure. So yeah, the 551s are as promised, no surprises, which is a good thing. I'm sure they will be typical Swiss quality, and these are unique barrels that I don't know if we'll see again. But the good news is, a large-ish number were able to come over. So, at least it's not something where there's only 10 available. So at least there will be an opportunity to grab some. They were also, of course, standard buttstocks, both black and green, and adjustable and non-adjustable versions. Now, even though a good number came in, most will go to fill pre-orders, back orders. So it's really unknown how many will end up being free for the market. Magazines also came in, 751s, as well as for the 550, 551, 553 series. Most all were 30 rounders, either with tabs or without tabs. And there were a few other odds and ends besides, like slings and a few other minor accessories. But as best I can recall, that's kind of the major points. And that's Hobo, you hear, my cat, letting me know it's been a long enough day and time to kind of pack it in. But I'll be back soon with more details. I just wanted to give a bit of a heads up and follow up on what we're seeing. But we'll go over some of the other guns that came in, and maybe a few other accessories that I forgot next time. With that, I greatly appreciate you tuning in. If you could, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to help support the channel, please check out the link to the Patreon page. This is Misha. Catch you very soon. Next time.